Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the fantastic session on SEO Elements Part 2. So, today, what are we going to learn? We are going to learn the fundamental techniques and practical strategies to maximize your on page SEO. All right. So, if you have any questions, you can just ask me in the comment section as well. I'm happy to help you all. All right. So, now let's understand the basic fundamentals. Now, moving forward in the part 2 session, it is important that you have to create a search engine friendly URL. Now, you might be wondering what are the steps involved to create a search engine friendly URL. Okay, so I will give you a live example also so that you can understand it better. First is you have to keep it absolutely simple. You have to use simple and concise URL structure that are easy for both users and search engine to understand. Okay, so I'll explain you in practicals after this slide. You have to use keywords. You have to include relevant keywords in the URL that accurately describe the content of the page. Point number two, all right? Point number three is you have to avoid dynamic parameters. Okay? So, dynamic parameters in the URL, such as those generated by database, can confuse both user and search engine. All right? And point number four is you have to use hyphens to separate words. Okay, it's important that you have to use hyphens to separate words in the URL as search engine recognize them as word separators. So now let's do the practicals. Okay, so I'll do is I'll open Google here .com access preferences. Yes, so let's do it practically. Yeah. Okay, so I'll click on show more. Okay, I'll click on United Arab Emirates. Yes, so I'll click here. Now what I'll do is I'll open the landing page. Last mile delivery. I'll give you some examples. Software. Okay, so what we'll do is, see, if I open the Fleetwood URL, okay, so I'll show you what is a search engine friendly URL. So guys, just have patience. See, I have selected this is called as address bar. Okay, and this is called as URL. It's called as uniform resource locator. What you can see in this URL, so you could see hyphens here. All right, see, best last mile delivery software. We have used the keyword in the URL. And okay, so plus we have used the blog topic. So this is called a live example of a search engine friendly URL over here. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go back to Google. So understood, guys? So this is called a search engine friendly URL. So this is what you can use hyphens in your URL. You can use keywords in your URL. You can use blog topics in your URL. So basically your URL is being displayed in the address bar. So this is called as the address bar. Okay. So I request each one of you that after this session, you all have to do the practicals as well. Then only you will understand it much more better. Okay. So I'll open Google here. Okay. So I'll type okay. So I'll open this page here. Okay, so what you could see here, connected delivery. Okay, so this is also one of our targeted keyword here. So we have used this, okay, in our URL searcher. So this is the live example of search engine friendly URL. Okay, so I hope this is pretty clear. This is the URL structure. All right. So now guys, you might be wondering how are you going to write the code to create a search engine friendly URL. So this is a part of a PHP coding here. So I have also given you example on how to create the code in PHP if you want to create a search engine friendly URL. So basically this code is done by a developer. So just for your knowledge, I'm just sharing the code in the slide. Okay, so you have to just define the function, then you have to create a the string function as well, and this is how you can create the code. Basically, a job of a digital marketing specialist is to optimize the website, create a search engine friendly URL. Coding part is just being taken care by the development team, but this is just for your value addition knowledge as well. Okay, so basically what this function does is this function takes a string as input and performs the following actions. So what it does, it converts the string to lowercase with string to lower. Okay, so this is for a value add. Then it replaces any non alphanumeric characters except for spaces and hyphens with an empty string using brag underscore replace. Alright, then it replaces spaces with hyphens using brag underscore replace, and then it returns the search engine friendly URL string as well. Value add knowledge for all of you. Okay, so you should know how to create a search engine friendly URL. Okay, in the front end, the backend part is taken care by the development team as well. Now, what is more important is when you are creating search engine friendly URLs, okay, so you have to avoid excessive subdirectories. Okay, so I'll give you a live example after the explanation. So what you have to do is you have to limit the number of subdirectories in your URL structure so that it's easier for search engine to understand your site. If you have too many subdirectories, search engine will find it very difficult to crawl your website. So avoid too many subdirectories. Okay, then you have to keep your URL consistent. Ensure that the structure of a URL remains consistent across your site. Basically, your URL structure should be consistent across your entire website, guys. Then you can also use 301 redirect. Okay, so let's say for example, if you change the structure of a URL, okay, then you have to use a 301 redirect to ensure that users and search engine are redirected to a new URL. Okay, so now I will give you a live example of this particular slide as well. Okay, so I'll open this URL over here. Okay, so now if I open here, all right, so I'll show you some live examples here. Okay, so see what you can see here is this is the live example of a search engine friendly URL. Okay, so they have used the keyword in the URL structure. All right, so if you see some more example, mix and match offer. Okay, so this is the search engine friendly URL. Okay, see, right, now I'll open amazon.com over here. Okay, so these are the live examples of search engine friendly URL. I'll open amazon.in. Okay, so yes, I click on bestsellers. Now what you could see in this particular URL, you could see that there are a lot of subdirectories, alright, plus you have additional search parameters over here. So basically these are not search engine friendly URLs. Okay, so these are dynamic URLs which consist of additional search parameters as well. Okay, any e-commerce website will have a lot of subdirectories in the URL structure. Okay, they will have dynamic search parameters as well. Okay, so logically Google finds very hard to crawl these type of URLs in their search database. So that's why you guys have to make sure that you use search engine friendly URLs. Okay, so I hope this is clear, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comments. I would be happy to help you all. Now guys, we will discuss about creating an internal linking architecture. Now what does that mean? You have to identify the main pages and categories on your website. Okay, this is point number one. So these are the pages that you want to link to and from. Okay, this is one. Point number two is you have to determine the main topics of your website. So what are these topics? These topics should be reflected in the content of your pages and the categories you have identified. Point number three, you have to create silos for each topic. So I will give you a live example over here as well. What is silo, you might be wondering? A silo is a group of related pages that are all linked together with links from each page to the other page in the same silo. Okay, this is point number 3. Point number 4, you have to link from each page to relevant page within the same silo. Okay, so if you do this, what will happen? This will help to establish the relationship between the pages and reinforce the topic structure of your website. Now, let's understand in a practical way how this can be done. Alright, so I'll go to Google over here. Okay, so let's open Google. So just hang on for a few minutes, guys. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll type last mile delivery software. Okay, I'll open this page. Right, so basically we have created a comprehensive guide for this particular topic as well. All right, so see, browse by category. So what you can see here is we have created different categories here. In that particular categories, we have published a list of pages as well. Okay, so this is how we have created the internal linking architecture. Now, okay, these are silo structures as well. So if I click on say delivery software, okay, so see, this is the silo structure. Fleetwood.com /blog /category delivery software silo structure as well. Okay, so let's see if I click here where it is taking me. Silo structure, guys. Okay, so in this category of delivery software, you can see these many number of blog posts have been published. So this is how we are creating the internal linking architecture. Okay, so one blog post is linked to another blog post. So let's say if I click on this particular post, so how are you going to create the internal linking architecture? Okay, so you can create the internal linking architecture within the content pages on your website. This is point number 1, or either way around, you can create your internal linking architecture in the CTA as well. All right, so see, let me show you a live example. So see, if you see the URL structure here, that is fleetwood.com /blog /best last mile delivery software. Okay, all right, so if I click on this particular page over here, it takes me to the same platform, but it takes me to the different URL structure. So here we have created the internal linking architecture. So if I scroll down over here, now we have created the internal linking architecture with keyword in anchor text as delivery software. All right, so see, if I click on this, it takes me to a different URL. That's a landing page. Okay, so that's connected delivery. All right, I hope this is clear, guys. Yes, so this is how we create the internal linking architecture. Okay, so basically then you have to link from each silo to relevant pages on other silos. This will help to reinforce the relationship between the different topics on your website. Then you have to use descriptive anchor text for your internal links. What is more important here is the anchor text should accurately describe the target page and give user an idea of what they will find when they will follow the link. Then you have to monitor and adjust your internal linking structure over time. As a website evolves and grows, you may need to make changes to your internal linking structure to ensure that it remains effective. Now, what is more important here is you have to use descriptive anchor text for your internal links. Okay, so I'll show you a live example. See, This is called as descriptive anchor text. Okay, so delivery software is the anchor text for internal link, which is redirecting the user to the particular landing page. So that's called as delivery software. Okay, so if I go up, see, this is descriptive anchor text, last mile delivery software, right? Okay, so this is taking the user to the content page. So this is called as descriptive anchor text as well. All right, I hope this is clear. Now, next point is you have to optimize your images for SEO. Okay, so what does that mean? You have to use descriptive file name. You have to use a descriptive keyword rich file names for your images. Then you have to compress images. You can reduce the file size of your images without sacrificing quality to speed up page load time. Third, you can use alt tags. Okay, so use alt tags to describe the content of your images, and you can also include relevant keywords. Then point number 4 is you can add captions, guys. So you can provide context for your images with captions and consider using keywords in them as well. Now, guys, you might be wondering that yes, you know the theory part. Now, how are you going to implement this in a practical way? All right, so let's do some practicals over here. Okay, so let's see. This is the landing page of last mile delivery software. What I'll do is I scroll down over here. Okay, I click on view page source. Okay, see what you can see here. Meta property is OG is image, content is equal to image feature. So this is a file name, PNG file name. All right, okay. Then so I'll say alt tag. See, guys, image source. Okay, so this is the source of the image dot svg file. Okay, width 200, height is equal to 38, alt is equal to free truth. So this is how we are optimizing the images for SEO with the brand keyword. So free truth is the brand keyword over here. So I click on enter. Okay, see one more over here. Image source, okay, banner image dot png, alt is equal to free trade logistics. So this is how we actually define over here as well. All right, so I hope you understood this pretty well. Then you have to use original images. You can use original high quality images that are relevant to your content. You have to use the right file format, which I have shown you in the live example. You have to use appropriate file format such as JPG for photographs and PNG for graphic with transparent backgrounds as well. Then guys, what is more important here is you have to offer different sizes. You need to make sure that you offer different size version of the same image to ensure the fast loading experience for user on different devices. So what does this mean on different devices? You have to have a fast loading time on your mobile phone, on your Android device, on your iPhone and your desktop device or your laptop as well. All right, so I hope this is pretty clear. So this is the HTML code, okay, right? So which I have shown you in the background for optimizing your images for SEO. Image source is equal to image.jpg. Alt here you have to give image description with keywords. So in alt tag you have to integrate your targeted keywords as well. Okay, this is the CSS code, okay, to optimize your images for SEO. So here you have to add the syntax. Then width 100%, height is auto, max width is 800px, display block margin you can give this as auto as well. Alright guys, with this I end my presentation. If you have any questions you can ask me in the comments. I would be happy to help you, and if If ever you need any kind of help or assistance, you can be in touch with me on WhatsApp or you can send me an email at seomother@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I'm really grateful to you. Have a wonderful day, guys.